Well, we finally gone 24 hours without any rain. Sun shining, got a little breeze blowing. We got a small, narrow window to try and get some more wheat in. So let's go get a few more bushels in the bin, make a little bit of money before we start losing money again. All right, we got our first full bin of wheat of the day. We got started on this big part on the other side of the creek here on the Fisher farm and cutting around the edges, and it was crap. It was in the 50s, about 3.5 quarter. But once we get out here in the main part of the field, it's 85 to 95, doing real good, although the moisture, moisture's bad. I'm glad we're putting this in the bin and not hauling it to the river, because our moisture's running about 20-21%. But we had a heavy dew last night, and I mean, it'll be 2-3 o'clock before this stuff gets back down to 13.5%. And with the narrow window we got, I mean, we just can't wait. We're just going to have to put it in the bin, blow some air on it. It'll dry down in the bin, and it'll be perfect whenever we get it out and haul it to the river. But let's say, what is it? Today's Tuesday, and I think Friday's next good chance of rain. They got rain like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I mean, maybe not a repeat of this of the last week, but not looking real promising either. So I mean, we got a decent wheat crop out here. I don't think it's lost too much quality yet, but I mean, it's definitely lost some, and we go through another rainy spell. I mean, the quality is just going to plummet. We're going to have a hard time selling it. The grander's going to be looking for any excuse to reject the load, you know, like they did last year with deer poop and stuff. We don't want to produce a low quality product that really doesn't have a whole lot of uses for it. We want to make a high quality product, and us getting it out of the field is the best way to ensure that right now, because that's the only option we got now. Leaving it out in the field is not an option, because we're going to get hammered, and then the granary, if they buy it, is going to be stuck with a product that's going to be hard for them to move. So now, normally I'd be bemoaning the fact that we probably lost a ton of quality over the last week since we've been in the field. However, you know, we did get rains we got rains every day except for Sunday. But what happened is those rains, they generally came in the morning, they moved out relatively quickly, and then the sun popped out. So it's not like this wheat stayed soaked and saturated, you know, for 6 days straight. I mean, it got wet plenty of times, but also had a chance to dry back down. And I believe what causes a lot of the quality loss on wheat, you know, with low test weight and everything, is whenever that seed gets wet, you know, the seed doesn't know that it's not in the soil, that it needs to be harvested. But after that seed's dried down the first time, and then it absorbs moisture again from rainfall, well, it's thinking it's time to germinate. And well, that process of it starting to germinate, it's pulling energy out of the seed. You know, it's using up some of that starch to start the process of germination. Well, what it's doing that, you know, burning up some of that starch, well, it's losing weight. Then you got low test weight wheat. You got wheat that doesn't have as much nutrient value in it, doesn't have as much energy in it. So really, kind of what saved us is that, you know, when that wheat dries down, you know, it stops that germination process. But if the wheat were to stay, you know, constantly wet for 6 days, I mean, that's enough to make the seed start sprouting. But if it dries down in that time, which I think it did just about every day, you know, it halts that process. So while I know we did lose some quality, I don't think we lost as much quality as what we would normally expect. So that's why I'm not cared about moisture right now. The main thing I care about is getting this wheat off the head and into the bin. We'll deal with the problem of it being high moisture later on. It has been 4 days
since we cut 20 acres. It is now Tuesday, June 10th. It's tight space in here with her as she's gotten bigger, but we have a fan. She has air conditioning, way better than the sprayer. She's ready to go. I have gotten to the field. We're set up, ready to go. And I'm just praying and hoping that everything goes correctly because we really need a win right now. We really need a win. So let's hope the old girl ain't done nothing while she's been sitting. All right, everything looks good. As you can see, it's a difference from last year because we've had so much rain. There's not a lot of flag downforce because it is very moist out there. In fact, I've got some road cleaners already, or closing wheels that are getting real chopped up over there, but as long as it closes the trench, I'm happy. Well, so far so good. Everything is working, it's planting, it's doing great. You can see the soil temperature there. Quite cool, it's not bad. So I'm hoping that I can get these 60 acres knocked out today and we won't have any more issues. Fingers crossed.
Well, that good run and good luck didn't last very long. I got a problem here on our header. Our reel won't turn. And this is the reason right here. Our guard on the outside of the reel somehow got caught on our arm right here. Don't really know how that happened, but it did. So we're going to take this part of the guard off. It says bracket here, bent real bad. Try and straighten it back up. All right, Carter, spin it. Spin the reel. Yeah, it looks good. All right, Andy's gonna kick the header. I want to make sure the reel's spinning because it felt like it was spinning mighty easy. I want to make sure the chain hadn't jumped off on the drive here. That's what I was scared of. All right, it looks like my chain is still on there. It can definitely stand to be tightened up a little bit, but that's not the problem. All right, Andy, kick the combine and feed her back on and see if the motor is actually spinning. Now the motor and shaft ain't spinning. Well, we finally figured out what the problem was with the reel. Well, it didn't have anything to do with that. My knob right here on my reel flow control valve, I had turned all the way down, which I did that when I was trying to figure out why the reel wasn't turning in the first place. So we didn't take all that loose for nothing. Come to find out that chain was pretty dang loose. So we went in and got it tightened up, and now we're ready to roll again. So lost about an hour there. Hopefully this wheat's done dried on out a little bit now and we can blow and go.
So we got the 20 acres done up on the hill, came down here. Looks like Matt left the bottom for last, so I'm gonna head up to the part I hate the most. Giving her some time to run around. And then I'm gonna come over here and double check everything. All the units, make sure we've got every closing wheel, every road cleaner. Nothing is broken. And we are gonna go rolling. She does like the wheat straw though. What a beautiful day.
It was like Kelly just made it over here. She's been working there across the ditch on you know, what we cut a week ago. I reckon she's got all that planted and about to get started over here. I let all of this big field up here where we're loading, left it for last because I didn't want her to get over here and be planting it and then us running up here to the truck and, you know, unloading and running over crop and everything. So probably letting Mia stretch her legs and then she'll be heading back there to the back and getting started. But she hadn't hollered at me today, so I guess everything's running good with the planter. I sure hope so, as much work as we put on it about a week ago. I gotta say, for the most part, yields are holding up pretty good. I mean, look how nice and thick that wheat is right there. I mean, we're right there around 90 or so, occasionally bumping up higher. I mean, it's wheat's doing real good. Unfortunately, it's not all like that. I mean, there are thin areas, and the only thing I can think of is the rate controller on our sprayer. You know, this was the first farm that we fertilized, and you know, you got to get it. You got to get some valves and stuff dialed in just right, or the rate controller kind of goes wonky. Just really trying to hunt for that average. It'll go high, low, and so on. And I got to think that that's a big problem here. I mean, we'll know a lot more when we go to other farms and stuff, but you know, down here in this wet bottom, I mean, look how nice and thick that is. And you know, it's right there at 100. I mean, this bottom is so wet, normally I wouldn't even really consider putting wheat in this bottom. And we're actually, if we can scrape together the funds, we're actually going to try and tile this field this winter and stuff. But for whatever reason, like on the knobs of the hills, that's really where it's thin. So I don't know if we had enough rainfall that it kind of leached the nitrogen away from those knobs, or like I said, problem with a rate controller. I don't know. Oh, I mean, overall, this farm is showing we're 73 bushels an acre overall. You know, where it's not so good, you know, it's between 50 and 70 bushels, and then places like this, it's, you know, 80 to 100 bushels. But we still got the majority of this big bottom to cut where the wheat's real good. So I expect by the time we get done with this farm, we might be scaring an 80 bushel per acre average, which will be good. And it really doesn't look like yields have dropped off since, you know, we got all that rain. Yeah, I know the wheat has lost some weight, but yields are holding up pretty dang well.
So I have done my walk around, and so far so good. We're doing good on seed. So we're gonna head back to the back 15 and try and get that done. Go get him! Go get him! Get him! Go get him! She was doing the dolphin thing. She was doing this. Come on! Come on! What?
Well, guys, there's something I've been meaning to mention here for a while. I just keep on forgetting, but I'm sure most of y'all know. You know, we've been affiliated with Acres TV here for, well, we're on our third year now of, you know, putting videos on Acres TV. And basically, for the most part, it's the same thing, you know, we're putting on YouTube. But you know, if you want to watch our videos on a different platform and not have to deal with any commercials, you know, you can download the Acres TV app. It's also available on smart TVs and stuff. But you know, because we've been working with Acres TV, we're also getting more involved with AgPhD, which, you know, if you're involved in agriculture, you probably know exactly what AgPhD is. But you know, I've been following Brian and Darren Hefty here for quite a while, and they've been instrumental in shaping how I look at fertility and how we fertilize and everything. And anyway, this year we've been invited to attend the AgPhD field day in Baltic, South Dakota. I believe that's right. Anyway, it's right up there close to Sioux Falls, and that date is July 31st, I believe. So if y'all would like to attend the AgPH field day, I know they're going to have a lot of great information there. I believe me and Kelly are going to be talking about something there. I think we got 2 or 3 different sessions that they want us to speak on, and I don't really exactly know what they're wanting us to talk on yet, but I would assume it's probably got something to do with soil health or cover crops or whatnot. But the great thing about this field day is, if you can come to it, is that everything's free. There's no admission charge, no parking charge. I mean, even the food and the drinks at the field day is free. So if you're in the area and don't have anything else going on, there's absolutely no excuse to not attend, and I know they're going to have a bunch of great information there. I'm really excited to go because, you know, we're in such a completely different environment farming down here in Tennessee. It's going to be really interesting for me agronomically to see, you know, how they grow stuff all the way up north, what kind of advice they give and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, hopefully, you know, I'll be able to add a little knowledge or whatever, you know, based upon my experience down south to maybe what folks up in that area can do to better their farms and their crops. So I'm really excited about that opportunity, about being able to attend. And like I said, if y'all are in the area, July 31st, Baltic, South Dakota, y'all come on out and meet us, pick up a bunch of good knowledge, and believe Eric Reed is going to be there also. Not sure who else is going to be there, but Eric Reed's going to be there, and I don't know, he might be talking about some high yielding corn, might be talking about his 30-inch wheat, I don't know, but really excited and grateful for the opportunity to participate in that. And going along with other plans for the summer, I don't think we'll be going to the Farm Progress Show. I don't think Acres TV or Ag Revolution has got anything going on that was, you know, is really going to require our presence there. So I think we're probably going to miss out on the Farm Progress Show this year. But because we're going to be missing out on that, another farm show that I've been wanting to go to for years, the Half Century of Progress Show, and I believe it's Rantoul, Illinois. It's held the weekend before the Farm Progress Show. I've been dying to go there for years. I'm trying to convince Kelly into going to that show there at the end of August. I mean, just seeing all of those old historical combines out there working on display, man, it's like that'd be like a dream come true for me. So not 100% sure we're going to go to that, but right now I'm trying to talk my travel agent into setting that up. So if we for sure decide to go, I'll let y'all know, and for sure in a future video.
I'd also like to point out that there is no tractor and green cart. Because Carter is off in La La Land. Oh wait, here comes Ricky Bobby. What in the... Hey Carter, you don't need to do 25 through the freaking field, bro.
He's doing fine.
Uh-huh. Until he breaks it.
Hey Carter, I see a coyote out here in the middle of the field. You want to go try and catch him?
Wish I had Andy's pistol on me. I'd just shoot him right here.
Well, let's see if you can catch him. I bet he's a little faster than a baby deer.
I don't want to touch that thing. Hey Andy, grab your gun when you're on the way back. Grab your gun when you're on the way back.
Get him, Mimi. Get him, Mimi. Right there. Where is it? Where's it go? Where is it? Get that Mimi. Mimi, look outside. Look outside. Look outside, Mia. All right, Mia. You see him? You see him? You see him? You see him? Get him, Mia. Get him, Mia. Yeah, Mia. Yeah, Mia. Yeah. Let him know what's up.
Just get him off and let him be over there for a little while.
Oh my gosh. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, mean.
Like I said, we let Mia out and go after her.
I'd like to see Kelly let Mia out and go after him.
You hear that?
Mia might be a little too big for her britches right now. I don't think she's quite big enough to tangle with a wild coyote. Yeah, I'm not getting rid of wild coyotes. They help keep the deer population down.
Ooh, she should things. Well, Glock 44 would fix that problem. Or an AR-15.
Yeah, used to. My dad would try to get rid of all the wild coyotes he found because, you know, they would devastate the local quail population. I know coyotes aren't too friendly for quail, but they're not too friendly for all these baby deer out here, and these baby deer is what's causing us more problems than anything when it comes to wildlife and eating crops and everything. So it took to mid-afternoon, our moisture finally got down there again. We pretty much got 2 loads of high moisture wheat that we cut earlier that's going in the bin. Of course, it'll be blended with all this dry grain, and we'll blow some air on it. Won't be a problem at all. I'm just proud it's not out here in the field anymore.
Well, it's that time of year again. I'm back at the bins. Got my fan set up, and I believe we've got all the kinks worked out on the loop system and the nightmares that we had, the bird nest or whatever it was. I believe that all is blown out and cleaned out. So this is our 3rd load dumping, or it's actually our 2nd and a half load. We got rained out on a half a load. So yeah, I'm gonna check the moisture here in just a second. I'm gonna assume it's around that 14, I'm gonna say 14%. But, oh well, you can't see it now. It was just right here. We've got a giant pile of wheat, and our spinner up there is spinning. Oh, here it goes. Oh yeah, it's slowly going in there, but we are slowly taking it out of the field. It's our first actually sunny, dry, hot day. It's been nothing but raining and gross out. So it's our 3rd load and coming out of the first field. Stay tuned. Well, that was fast. Let's do it a couple more times.
This is a part of this lifestyle that I absolutely hate, is that this time of year, the mama deer put the babies out here in the wheat to hide them. Well, unfortunately we had our first casualty, and I had to pick it up all the way from over there and walk it all the way over there to give it a proper burial. It's just it's part of it. I hate it because one, you have to remove it out of the field, or else I run it over and plant it. So it's not pretty, but it's just what we have to do. It's kind of sad. I'd say that might be the hole to hell. Man, I'm so glad I saw that. Jeez. Yikes, we're gonna have to fix that. Oh my gosh. I absolutely hate this part of the farm. You got silt basin there, over the hill, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 over there. So you have to pick it up, back up, go around, back up, keep going. I butchered this. And then you got the hole to hell sitting there. Oh, give me Texas and Oklahoma police.
All right, we just wrapped first farm wheat up, and my yield monitor showing average yield of 76 bushels per acre. It was either boom or bust over here. It was either really, really good or really, really not so good. So move on to the next farm, see what it brings. Hopefully yields will pick up a little bit more. I know driving by the field, it looks good and thick. However, looks can be deceiving. All right, third breakdown on the header today. Another knife section. This is the second one we've broken today, and I don't know why, because we're cutting wheat up above the ground. We're not supposed to be breaking them, cutting wheat. And you can see right there, the bolts they make to hold these knife sections on are just plain old crap. They're not hard to replace, just a little aggravating. I guess Got to slide the bar back and forth to make clearance for the bolt heads and stuff. And I got to try and slide a new knife in, which is not hard if it's a knife in the right place, but you get a knife broke off there by one of those hold down clips, then you got to take it off, and yeah, it's pretty aggravating. But yeah, these are little bolts that hold them on. I mean, there ain't much to them. In fact, you tighten them down too much with a wrench, they'll snap off. Wish they put like one size larger bolt, and I bet we wouldn't have near as many problems with these things snapping off. Alright, let's pray this thing cranks. It's been a while since I used it. Oh. Well, the rest of my day is definitely ruined. Hot, sweaty, tired, covered in sawdust.